This has actually been kind of one of those fun and exciting science stories you get to do every so often in your career. We started working with the group in Charlottesville at HemoShare, 4 or 5 years ago. And the concept is they had this beautiful cell model for working with liver cells to see how their biochemistry would work. And they were working on drug metabolism, things like that. And we approached them with the idea that when we do liver transplant on our patients, we normally throw those livers in the trash can because you can't transplant them into another patient. And so we teamed up. Dr. Chapman worked on the science on this. I kind of worked on more of the admin, and we took the livers from our patients with these organic acidemias, put them in their system, and used that to identify targets for the therapy. And we're actually quite successful on that. So there are two kinds of approaches going on in a lot of the biochemical disorders right now. One is nucleic acid therapies. I think those are still a ways off from really being, I think, a mainstream therapy for these patients, although one can always hope. But in my career, that's always been kind of 5 years away. It still seems like it's a little bit out. This is actually a small molecule approach, basically looking at pathway blockade or inhibition to try to remove toxic metabolites. The nice thing about the way we worked this up is we were actually able to use cells from patients with the actual disease we're going to be treating to see if it was effective in a human in vitro system before we went to start looking at patients. And we're able to find a compound that has already had a pretty good safety profile. So we were able to move that part forward pretty quickly. I'm excited about the clinical trial because, like I said, this will be kind of the first, what I would call specific targeted therapy for this disease. You know, while you can call liver transplant, when liver transplant is treating a disease for a disease because you've got chronic immunosuppression and all the other problems from that. And with our very small patients, liver transplant's tough. So if we can use a small molecule approach to stabilize, treat these patients, and actually have them go on a more normal diet, have fewer or no hospitalizations would be my goal. That is a huge win for these patients.